What's up, folks? It's your boy, the Noob. So you know that I love reading. Well, you kind of should figure that out because, let's face it, most of my YouTube channel is me talking about mangas that I read. So I am constantly looking for ways to get books on the cheap. And I'm not sponsored by this, by the way, but Thrift Books is a website I go to often because the books that I'm looking for, including mangas, light novels, and any other kind of books, I can actually find them at a pretty good price. They're a lot cheaper than what Barnes & Nobles would charge. So I recently ordered a whole bunch of mangas. No, actually, I take that back. I ordered a bunch of light novels this time around. My next order's mangas. It came in while I was on my vacation. So I opened it up and I actually had forgotten what I bought. But I was pleasantly surprised and I wanted to share that with you. Plus, I have a bonus 2 books that I bought elsewhere that I'm going to share. This way you could see kind of what I like to read. Alright, so let's start with the first book. The first set of books is based off of xxxHolic. And no, it is not a hentai. No, it's not pervy. This is actually based off of supernatural stories. The story revolves around a young high schooler who is troubled by the spirits. He can see spirits, interact with them, and since they know that he can, they tend to trouble him. He doesn't want to deal with them, and eventually he stumbles across a shop where the shop owner grants wishes, but not in the way that people think. But she knows that he wishes to be rid of these spirits, so she basically barters with him. You cook, you clean, you become a servant at my shop, and I will eventually remove your curse. The stories that are in this are great. As you can see, it's actually a big compilation of the mangas. It's not the light novels, so like one of these books will have actually like 3 or 4 mangas in them. It used to have an anime that had, I believe, either 2 or 3 seasons, and I'm kind of hoping that it comes back because they've had other mangas that are intertwined with it. A great example would be Cardcaptor Sakura. So I would like to eventually see this be remade, and so I'm actually been catching up on it through these books. I got 3 in the order this time around, and I think I've got up to number 6 or 7 now, so I'm going to be reading these for a while. The next one I only got 1 of because it is quite dense. It is a very wordy reading, so it takes a while to get through. The Saga of Tanya the Evil. I've now got up to book 3 thanks to Thrift Books. And if you don't know the story, first of all, there is a great anime. But in the story, a businessman, a salaryman, who got kicked in front of a train, he meets God, or actually God kind of speaks down to him, or the being claiming to be God. And now this being only wants him to admit God is there and praise him, and your main character goes, "Screw you, I don't believe in you." So this really pisses off the entity to the point where he says, okay, you don't believe in me, I'm going to give you a reason to believe in me. He basically isekais this guy into another world. This world has magic, but magic during basically their equivalent of World War II. He is reborn as a little girl with vast magical powers, and it is fun to watch this little 11-year-old lolly girl go psycho and fight people. Like I said, the books are very detailed. If you've ever read any military novels, it is quite similar to that. So this book, I'm not sure if I would suggest it to people. It is the light novel, by the way. If you can stand a lot of wordy sentences, I would say read it, but if you don't have the time or don't think you could put up with that, I would suggest going to see the anime. They've had 1 season and 1 movie that just recently came out. I'm hoping for a 2nd season, and I eventually got to catch up on that movie. So here's the Tanya the Evil. The 3rd set of reading materials I got in this was another light novel. I believe I got 2 or 3 of them in there. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it is That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Now, I have been enjoying this series. I first stumbled across it as the anime, which I liked. At first, I didn't think I was going to like it, so I didn't watch it, but I had so many friends telling me, go watch it, go read it, blah, 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 blah. So eventually I watched it, I loved it, I read the manga, and now I am reading the light novels. Out of the three, each one has their own uniqueness that I like. I like the character designs of the anime. I think the characters look better. I'm liking the stories of the manga because they're more stretched out. But in the light novel, I love the little details. I'm the kind of person that loves little details. Not, the grass or anything, but, if this character is wearing a pendant because she got it from her brother or something like that, I like these little details. So now I'm up to I've read 1 and 2. This one's number 3, and I've got a couple more over in my pile. So I'm going to be reading these really soon. Okay, now for the 2 bonus books I have. One is a light novel and one is not. But these are going on my shelves, and they are actually the next ones I'm going to read after I finish my current book. The first one is one that if you've watched my videos, you know I've been praising this series. In fact, they just started their anime season as of last week or the week before. Aphrodite, From Commonplace to World's Strongest. I love this isekai. If I had to be forced to only choose one isekai, this is probably it. It is your classic isekai in the beginning. A whole class is summoned, the kingdom says, we need heroes, blah blah blah, you're the heroes, da 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 da. But your main character, he's an otaku. I don't know why they always make otakus bad, but just go with it. He is picked on at school. The class representative, who's the really pretty girl, likes him. She's always talking to him, which always gets him in trouble with the popular kids. And he gets summoned, and now all his classmates get these very cool skills. Some's a hero, some's a magic, and then he gets his. Something called synergy. Basically, he can morph the earth, but it is such a common skill that people laugh at him. People don't take him seriously. So he gets treated badly. Now, when they're training in the dungeons, what did I call her? The school rep, the class rep. She is a healer, a priestess, and she says, I will protect you. She's still talking to him, and people become jealous. Now, with power and jealousy, people can go bad, which does happen. During a major fight where he's actually helping protect people, somebody purposely aims magic at him, knocking him off a ledge, making him fall deeper and deeper into the labyrinth where people have not gone. And now his life goes to hell while he's in this labyrinth. He loses an arm, he loses an eye. He basically has his body morphed because I guess if you eat beast meat in this, like the magical beast, it's poisonous, but he finds a liquid that basically is like an uber heal. So while eating and uber healing at the same time, he basically morphs his body. Now while he's crawling through this labyrinth, he is going downwards trying to find an exit, and eventually he stumbles across a lolly vampire girl who's been trapped down there. He sets her free, and she becomes the first of the companions that joins him in this story. Now I love this story because he does not try to be the hero. He does not try to be the good guy. When he eventually gets out of this thing, he doesn't even want to go back to his own class. He's like, screw everybody. I'm going to go find out who basically summoned me here, why we were summoned here, and punch them in the dick. So I love this story and how badass it is. Alright, the final book is not a manga. It is not a light novel. It is actually a normal book. One written by an actor, a maker, a mechanical engineer. He's got so many titles, but basically, it is my boy Adam Savage. He has finally written a book. I got to meet Adam Savage at a convention this year, and I was able to acquire a book of his and get him to sign it. It is his book, Every Tool is a Hammer. Now, I have not read this yet, but I want to read this. I love Adam Savage. Mythbusters was a show I watched and I grew up with, and now I watch Tested on YouTube because of him. I cannot wait to read that book because I want to know what his thoughts are, what tools he likes, all these certain things. Maybe I can learn something from him that I did not know of. Well, folks, those are all the packages I got today. Now, this whole total from all the books I got from over here to the books I showed you, I believe should have come out to a little over $200, I believe, but thanks to thrift books, I was able to buy all this for roughly around $110, $120. So I saved myself about 80 bucks, which is a really good deal. So, like I said, I'm not sponsored by thrift books, but if you are a lover of reading and enjoy physical copies of books, go ahead, check them out, see what they have. Thank you for joining me on this. I hope you enjoyed my selection. Is there any mangas that you wanted me to try? Any light novels you think I might like? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, do that whole normal thingy, because I'm supposed to be saying it, but I don't normally do. You know, like, share, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. Do it if you want. Do it if you don't want. I don't care. Anyways, folks, have a good day. See ya!